Hello guys, my name is Kene and we will be continuing our discussion on the use of regular expressions. So today we are going to use regular expression to validate an email. So that's something that is possible using regular expression. And I should just share my screen at this point. All right. So guys, let's consider this question here. Write a Python program to check if a string is typical of an email address. So, I'm using the word typical because there might be variants that are not commonly associated with that format of an email address. So that which is typical is what we're concerned with today. Then print the Boolean result to the console. Just something as simple as that. So let's begin solving this problem. I have imported my module here, regular expression known as RE in Python. And then I'm going to, now this time I'm going to create a function. It's not inbuilt. It's something that we're going to do. I remember some videos ago, I mentioned functions as like a function is a block of code that is meant to do something. It's meant to maybe solve a particular problem, right? And but what's the syntax? How is it written? How is a function written in Python? So that's something called definition, function definition. To create it, you define it. And for that, we'll need a Python keyword called def, which is define, and the name of the function, which should be descriptive. What is it meant to do? So I'm going to say, for example, validate email. That's what I want to do here now using regular expression. So that's the name of this function. And then you should have the parentheses. So it's within those parentheses that you supply the argument, the data that the function will use in solving the problem it was created for. Okay. Then we need the colon, just like this, and then so for example, if I could say supply A here as a number, an integer, and then I'll just say, should I say ans is equal to a square root of it, I mean the square of A in that case, okay? Then I'm going to return. Now take note of the word, the keyword there, return. That is, what do I want to have when this code has been executed? So I'm going to return the ans. So this is just a basic function. So let's just test this to see if it works. Sorry, it's not actually what we are supposed to look at today, but it's just to explain what a function is. Okay, so then I'm going to return and use the function by calling it. So print, in the print, within the parentheses of my print method, I'm going to just call that function, which is validate email. Now we programmed it such that the function will use just one argument, okay? So I'm going to say the argument is 5. That's where I actually give it, I give it the actual number that it's going to use. So the function will find the square of 5 and return the result. All right, so that's it. Going to run the program now. I think there's an issue here. So sorry about that. It's just 5 times 5 I wanted. Let's run this again. 25. So that's it. So guys, this is a function, a Python function created or defined by the developer or the programmer. All right, but that's not what we are meant to do today. Let's see, guys, how do we use regular expression to validate emails? I'm going to begin by defining a function to do that. So I'll use the keyword define and validate email with my parentheses. Then right here, please, I want you to take note of the indentation. So that's not the hierarchy. It's not, you don't have the two of them at par. So what comes within the method should be indented. All right. So next I'm going to do, I want the email supplied by the user here. That's the argument for this function that I am defining. And then the next thing, I will create my regular expression criterion there. And I'm going to use this. I have it here because I just don't want to, start memorizing this. So I'm just going to leave it here. Or I should just compile it right away. Let me just call the compile function straight away. So re.compile. Okay, that's the regular expression method. And the compile there will take this as the argument. So this is the search criteria. And now what does this mean? I know it sounds or it appears, as Greek to the user of English, but what does it mean here? This, remember, we said matches at the beginning, while the $ matches at the end. Now, again, recall that A to Z here means letters of the alphabet, small case only, and 0 to 9 means the integers 0 to 9. Then here, what of this? So it's going to accept just small case letters and numbers 0 to 9. Then the next thing here, guys, this first backward slash is to escape, is meant to escape this entire thing here. Whereas I am going to escape this so that it recognizes the dot as a real dot. So I need to, should I have dot come, for example, I want the program to match the dot. I know that dot has an extended regular expression meaning. So that's why I'm escaping it there. And the same thing for the underscore. I'm escaping that so that the system recognizes it as an underscore, really. All right, okay, so you'll be wondering then, what about the this question mark and this stuff that is repeated here, A to Z, 0 to 9. Now this here at the beginning or preceding this block here means, okay, I understand that the first part of the email, that is the name part, doesn't have to contain special characters. Now, please guys, here, this dot and this underscore means that only the two of them will be accepted or will be matched. They are the only two special characters that will be matched to return something positive. But it may not always be the case that you would have these special characters in the first part of the email, say Kene 12 as the first part. You don't always have to have, say, Kene underscore 12. It may just be Kene 12. That is why we have this question mark here and the letters again, A to Z and 0 to 9. That tells you that, okay, it's not compulsory to have the period or the full stop, and neither is it compulsory to have the underscore. Okay, then after that, I have it should match the @ sign. Then that's followed by it's going to be followed by letters, just letters. So it could be at Yahoo, at Gmail, and this is what does the match precisely. So we see anything alphanumeric here is accepted. So at 10 mail or at mail 4, doesn't matter. You could have a number together with it. Then I have just a dot. So it matches just one dot there, right? And then this part here takes alphanumeric characters. But I want us to take note of something. I had the W here, right? The W, but in this other part, I have within curly braces 2, 3. And this means if I have something like in curly braces 2, say A, B, it means either this number or that number of that character. Okay, if you get what I mean. So .com, 3 characters, so there's a match. .us, 2 characters, that again is a match. But if I have say .plus, for instance, then there isn't a match anymore. That's what this is saying here. Okay. Then again, you match at the end. Match this at the end. That's that. The next thing I'm going to do now is to now take that email. So I'm going to say my match object. And I'm going to call the search method of regular expression. Then I should provide the argument. So the argument will be what the match object that I've compiled, right? So that's regex, and the email that the user supplies. That will just be it. So it's going to use the email to complete its work. Then I'm going to create that variable again as bool, so that I convert that object to a Boolean value. Okay, bool. And I have match object. That's what I want to convert to a Boolean value. All right, so that's it, guys. Now I want to return the Boolean value, which is simply true or false. Okay, so I'm just going to say return bool, or rather as bool. So this will be returned, and what is returned here is either true or false. Now it's good practice to indicate the type, the data type that the function should return. So I'm just going to give it as email, but then it should return a Boolean value, like so. Okay, that's that, guys. Right after that, I'm going to now call. To call means to use it, in essence. So I'm going to say, give a prompt, my email, collect from the user, input, enter an email address. So once that's supplied, I will call my validate email validate email, and the argument for that will be the actual email supplied, which is in this case, this variable, my email. Oh, sorry guys, you don't enclose a variable in quotes. So I'm just going to say my email. All right. So that's what you have there. And it's going to return, what this will bring back is simply a true or false value. And I am going to just print it. Print what is returned. All right. Okay, so I think I can run my program now. Let me see. Kene12345 at yahoo.com. True. Okay. Isn't that marvelous? Then let's see a case where someone puts a user puts 2 dots as part of the email address. So Kene1234567 at yahoo.com. False. You see, guys, because there are 2 dots here, and that's not what we try to search. Just a single dot between that last part, the com, and then the email itself, which is like Yahoo or Gmail. I should have just 1 dot in between. All right. So, guys, that's it. Okay, I think I should just leave a message here, depending on the value of the Boolean variable. So let me collect this now and call it result res in a variable. So remember, it's going to, in this res, are going to have just true or false. So depending on what it is, I'm going to use an if else block. If res, I could just say if res is equal to true. Okay, if else, if res is equal to true, then print email is valid. But if not, else. Now, I want you to take note of something again. I have the if. Whatever is within the if scope there should be indented. It's not going to come aligned, with the if. You need to indent that so that, no error is thrown up. And then if it is not true, that is, if it is false, just simply say email is not valid, right? So I'm going to run this. Kene1234567 at yahoo.com. Email is valid. What if I have okay, now take note of this. I'm going to use $ and E. So that's a special character that is not a dot or an underscore. Okay. Kene123 at Yahoo, or this time should I say gmail.com. Okay, so let's see, guys. Email is not valid. It's not valid because of this special character, this $ here. All right, guys. So that's how we can validate emails. But in reality, there are special classes that, modern classes that you as the developer or the programmer can use to validate emails more accurately. So this isn't, the best approach. Just use these built-in classes that are available in Python to more accurately validate users' email address. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.